Hi friends, welcome to the business studies class. In this module, we are going to learn about the important classification of economic activities. The economic activities are those activities which are carried out for earning livelihood. Economic activities can be divided into three. First one, business, second one, profession, and last one, employment. Business refers to those economic activities which are connected with the production and purchase and sale of goods and services with the main objective of earning profit. People engaged in business earn income in the form of profit. Profession includes those activities which require special knowledge and skills to be applied by individuals in their occupation. Employment refers to the occupation in which people working together and get remunerated in return. Now we are going to discuss the term comparison of business, profession and employment. First point is mode of establishment. In the case of business, entrepreneur's decision and other legal formalities is required. In the case of profession, membership of a professional body and certificate of practice is required for starting business. But in the case of employment, employment letter and service agreement is required. Next point is nature of work. In the case of business, provision of goods and services to the public. That means sale or purchase of goods is handled. But in the case of profession, rendering services. But in the case of employment, perform the work as per the service contract or rules of service. Third point is qualification. In the case of business, no qualification is required. But in the case of profession, qualification is required, which is prescribed by the professional body. But in the case of employment, qualification and training as prescribed by the employer. Fourth point of comparison is reward or return. In the case of business, the reward or return is profit. The ultimate aim of doing business is to make profit. But in the case of professional association, the professionals will get professional fee. In the case of employment, employees will get fixed amount of salary or wages. Next point is capital investment. In the case of business, capital investment is required as per the size and nature of business. Suppose the size of the business organization is small, the small capital or little amount of capital is required. But in the case of large scale organization, the amount of capital required is huge. In the case of profession, little amount of capital is needed for establishment. But in the case of employment, no capital is required. Next point is risk. In the case of business, profits are uncertain and irregular. Risk is present always. In the case of profession, fee is generally regular and certain. That means the professionals will get fixed amount of fee. So there is some risk involved in profession. In the case of employment, fixed and regular pay, no or little risk. That means in the case of employment, next point is code of conduct. In the case of business, there is no code of conduct is prescribed. But in the case of profession, professional code of conduct is to be followed. In the case of employment, norms of behavior laid down by the employer are to be followed. Last point is transfer of interest. In the case of business, as we know, transferability of interest is possible with some formalities. In the case of profession, doctors, lawyers, etc., the transfer of interest is not possible. In the case of employment, for example, clerk, managers, etc., the transfer of interest is not possible. Business refers to the economic activity which are concerned with the production or purchase and sale of goods and services with the motive of earning profit. In the case of profession, profession includes those activities which require special knowledge and skill to be applied by individuals in their occupation. The last one is employment. Employment refers to the occupation in which people working together and get remunerated in return. Those who are employed by others are known as employees. The people who work in factories and receive wages and salaries are in the employment of the factory owners and are the employees of the factory. Thank you.